I see here, Craig, that we've also got an ankle brace, which I suppose if you do have a twisted ankle, it'd be nice, if you haven't got strapping, to compress it as quickly as possible.
That's correct. In the event of an ankle injury, the ankle brace can be used and applied to help the cricketer walk home thereafter and have stability. Or if the player is recovering from an injury 2 to 3 weeks thereafter, he can use the ankle brace as a form of his rehabilitative therapy.
I see this is for thigh strains and hamstring injuries, perhaps?
Hamstrings, groins, quadriceps. This is just a thigh sleeve which will retain heat and as well apply a bit of extra protection to the injured area.
It's very important, as you can see from this particular equipment that we've seen and from all that we've said about sports injuries, that you must manage them, you must look after them carefully, and it'll prolong your cricketing season. There's no doubt during your cricket career that at some stage you're going to be affected by umpires and umpiring decisions, and therefore you need to know the requirements of an umpire. The first thing he needs to know is that what the lines on the pitch are for. Let's have a look at the front line here, commonly known as the batting crease. Did you know, Theo, that it's also known as the popping crease?
No, I don't know.
You didn't? Right, well, it's called a popping crease. Hardman, what's this line here for?
I'm not sure.
It's a return crease, okay? Now, both the lines are important for the umpire. First of all, the front line belongs to the umpire. That could be a no ball. And the back line will affect the back foot of the no ball law. So the umpire needs to know what all these lines are. Finally, the bowling crease where the stumps go in. Okay, so from there the umpire needs always to count the number of balls in an over. So you'll have 6 items in his hand. I don't know whether you can pick them up. There's 6 pebbles there. Okay, and as the bowler bowls, he'll transfer the pebble from one hand to the other. If it's a no ball or a wide, he'll have to put it back in again. The next requirement the umpire needs to know is where to stand. This is often determined by where the bowler would like him to stand. Sometimes bowlers like him to stand up and even further back. But normally, he'll go about 2 meters back from the stumps. So he can see the return creases. He's got a clear view of the batting crease, where he has to consider the no ball rule, and so that he can study the line between leg and off stumps on the wicket. During the game, an umpire has to make certain hand signals in order to make the game flow. Let's see if our young men here know the answers to them. Okay, what does this mean?
Four.
Right, and that's when the ball rolls over the line on the ground. And this one?
6.
Yep. In other words, that clears the boundary and goes into the crowd. This one?
No more.
Okay, when the bowler oversteps the front line. And this one?
Wide.
Yes, he bowls it wide of the stumps. I'm sure you do that lots, don't you? Okay, and this one?
Leg by.
Leg by. In other words, the ball hits the pad, it runs off, and you scamper a quick single. A lot of that happens in one-day cricket, doesn't it? And this one?
Wide.
Okay, that's one. The wicket-keeper misses it. That's sacrilege. You should never miss it. Okay, so you've got to try and stop everything. And this is a tough one.
Short.
One short run, okay? In other words, the batsman goes to touchdown, but he doesn't clear the line. He just doesn't look, and he turns and runs quickly. Okay, and right. Also, the umpire has to say over after he's counted the 6 balls. And there's one I've forgotten, guys. Dead ball, okay. And he closes his hands on it to make sure the ball is dead. And finally, the one the bowler likes and the batsman doesn't?
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, well done, guys. And that's what you need to know as a budding young umpire. Most of the umpiring signals that we've dealt with are fairly straightforward. There are 4 that I would like to deal with. There's the short run, the no ball, the wide, and the dead ball. Let's have a look at the short run. You can see the batsman's touched short, hasn't crossed the line, hasn't completed a single, and therefore it is 1 short. What we're going to deal with now is the wide ball in a normal game of cricket, not a one-day game. Okay. Okay, that ball is so wide that the batsman cannot reach the ball. So he's standing in his normal crease. If he tries to reach that ball, the ball is actually going to go past the bottom of his bat. So it is a wide ball. Now, obviously, if he steps across there and he hits it, he'll be able to hit the ball, and that won't be a wide. Right, let's look at the no ball law. Remember, the line, the batting crease, belongs to the umpire. If your foot goes over the line or touches the line, that is a no ball. Over or touches the line, that is a no ball. The bowler must cut the line with his front foot. Okay, from the front foot we now look at the back foot. The only time the back foot comes into a no ball is when it goes outside the return crease. If I use this foot here and I touch this line in any way or go outside it, that also is a no ball. There are a couple of contentious no ball decisions which I'd like to deal with now. I think you have to remember that a no ball should be given if a bowler is deliberately trying to gain ground. In other words, if he goes well over the line, then I think it's fair enough. You've got to penalise the bowler and call a no ball. I think it's important, though, to remember that if a bowler has his heel up, and there are quite a lot of bowlers who bowl on their toe, and he actually bowls over that toe, as you can see, his heel is actually past the line. And therefore, legally, it's a no ball. And I think what you've got to understand, though, is that if he put his foot down, it wouldn't be a no ball. So I think you've got to be very careful to understand that he is not actually gaining ground by bowling like this. The same thing happens to a left-arm spinner who quite often lands at an angle and his foot will land like that. Now, he is also not gaining ground because if I actually put my foot straight, he is cutting the line. By the letter of the law, he is bowling a no ball, but he is not gaining ground. And I think as an umpire, it's more important to get the decision right that end and be lenient this end. And now, let's move on to the dead ball. Law 23 is quite clear on the dead ball rule and should be studied. What every cricketer should know is that the ball is only considered dead during normal play when the bowler is ready to deliver the next ball. If the wicketkeeper has the ball and you wish to repair the pitch or talk to your partner, it is wise to ask first. I wonder how many bowlers have been upset that they haven't got an LBW decision, or how many batsmen have been really upset when they've got back to the pavilion and said, oh, well, that was never going to hit the stumps. Let's have a look at the LBW law and all its ramifications. The first thing we need to know is that if the ball pitches outside the leg stump, and we've got a right-handed batsman here, that whatever it does, it's not, even if it hits him right back on the stumps, it can't be out LBW. If it pitches in line, and Andrew goes back and across, okay, and it holds the line, and it hits the pad there, there's a pretty good chance that's going to be out LBW. If it pitches outside off, and it turns in and hits him there, there's a chance that that ball might miss leg stump because of the angle that it's spun. Okay, so as an umpire, you have to work out and gauge that. Now, what we're going to see now is some young bowlers trying to hit the stumps and pitching on or outside the off stump, and let's see where the ball pitches and how many times it actually hits the stumps. This exercise, I believe, certainly highlights the difficult job an umpire has. See for yourself how many deliveries pitch in line and hit the stumps. Oh, that's the... Well done. Let's see how the LBW law is affected when the batsman plays forward. Okay, Andrew, let's play forward. All right, let's have a look at the stride. Andrew's got a big stride forward. He's about 1 metre in front of the crease. Okay, let's have a look. All right, if the ball pitches straight and holds its line and hits him, well, there's a chance, isn't there? Okay, if the ball pitches outside off stump and comes in, let's have a look at that line and judge for yourself whether the ball is going to hit the stumps. Let's see Andrew caught in his crease, playing forward but not getting very far forward. A little bit onto off stump, Andrew. That's right. Okay, let's have a look again. Ball pitching on line and hitting. Okay, hitting the pad. That doesn't look too bad. Let's have a look here. Ball pitching outside off. Fraction outside off. Coming back in and hitting him on the pad. Judge for yourself whether that ball's going to hit the stump. Okay. What about Andrew padding up outside off stump? Okay. He pads up. The ball pitches here. It turns in and hits there. Well, is it going to hit the stumps? That's the question you've got to ask. Is the ball going to hit the stumps? All right, you must ask that. The final consideration is Andrew's playing forward, or even back, but playing forward, and the ball pitches a little bit further away, okay, and it bounces and hits him above the roll, the 3 rolls on the pad. Ask yourself